Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. Have you ever wondered if women only care about your height? Or if women only care about how much money you make? Well, Courtney Ryan has put out another video and we will get to those answers. Let's do it.
So the first one here is guy number 1 who is 6'2" and doesn't work out or take care of himself at all. Or guy number 2 who is 5'5" and is in great shape.
So height over fitness.
That is tough. It's not easy to change people and their habits. I think a lot of women also typically look for that like 6 foot tall guy. For me, I'm about 6 foot myself, so 5'5" is really pushing it for me. But I think I'd rather have someone with better habits, so 5'5".
Okay.
And takes care of themselves.
Seriously? Wow,
I would
that's a
choose
surprise.
guy number 2.
Okay, and how tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay, so he's still taller than you.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna go guy number 2.
She did not seem convinced. She's like, yeah, a little bit.
Guy number 2, okay. How tall are you?
I'm 5'7", almost 5'8".
Okay, so he's shorter than you.
Yeah.
But you still would prioritize a guy who is healthy, takes care of himself, is in good shape, versus the tall guy who does not work out.
Absolutely.
You're gonna hate this answer. They're not even
We
big for
already
me.
hate
Height's
the
not big
answers.
for me, and also like I go through fit phases and then I go through unfit phases. So a guy who's like 2 on top of his fitness is low-key intimidating to me.
Okay.
Is anybody surprised that she goes through those phases?
I like how you're explaining it though.
I'm picking height and fitness, right? Because one's really fit and one's tall.
Yes.
I think I'd choose height, which is weird because I'm really not a height person.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay, so I guess the 5'5" would still be taller than you.
5'5" still taller than me. That's why I'm kind of like, that's why it's normally not a big difference because they're both taller than me.
That is a tough one. I mean, they're both, you know, I get it, because it's hard to work out. I don't work out, so I feel like I can't be like, he's gotta be in shape. But also, it's important to take care of yourself in like other ways too, you know, besides working out. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I go to the gym every day. You know, that could be, I eat good, or I try, you know, probably 5'5", the 5'5" and the guy who takes care of himself, I think. And that would motivate me too a little bit to
Get your act together.
yeah, to also like, hey, go to the gym with me. I'm like, oh, cool, I got a gym buddy now, because I don't do that. So yeah, I think I would go with that guy. Okay.
That woman reminds me of a female version of myself. Oh, go to the gym. Oh, gym buddy. I was like, oh my god. I think I'm in love. We're meant to be. We are meant to be.
Okay, and how tall are you?
I am 5'2.5".
Okay, so he's still taller than you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I guess at the point in my life, I would
Got like
pick
9
someone
inches
who
on
had
her.
Be aligned
We
with
good.
my goals, so I would go with the 5'5" guy who's in shape.
Okay, and how tall are you again?
5 foot on a good day.
Okay, so he's still much taller than you.
5 foot on a good day? What the hell does that mean? Your height changes daily?
The guy that is 5'5" and
5'5"?
takes care of himself.
Okay,
Good
so
shape.
you prioritize a guy taking care of himself, being in shape,
Yes.
versus how tall he is.
I do, only because I like to take care of myself, so like I need somebody that's
Okay.
motivated as well.
Okay, on your wavelength there. Next one is guy number 1 who is...
I just want to say that all those women seem a lot like they seem older and more mature than the previous batches that she's done, where it's like mostly women in their early 20s or like 24. These all these women seem like they're older, like in their late 20s or maybe even 30s.
an 8 and is divorced with 2 kids. Or guy number 2 who is a 5 and has never been in a relationship.
8 and divorced with 2 kids. Oh. Or 5, never been in a relationship. Yeah, but we don't even know his age. If he's like 21 or like 24 or something and he's never been in a relationship, somewhere in the mid-20s, I think that's reasonable. He could just be he could be like really focused on his career. But if he's like 35 and he's never been in a relationship, I would be suspicious. That does not sound good. But having 2 kids, I don't want a pre-made family.
I'm gonna go guy number 1.
What?
I try not to judge people for their past. I think everyone kind of...
Judge everybody. That's what we do here. We judge people. How dare you? This is what I do on the channel. This is my thing, judgment. If you take that away, I have nothing. What would I do?
goes through their own stuff, and I don't think a divorce makes you a bad person.
Okay.
He's not a bad person. He's got 2 kids. It's about complicating your relationship. It's not about being a bad person. I am divorced or in the process of getting divorced. I'm not a bad person, but I don't have kids. When you have kids, it's just more complicated in your relationship. That's all we're saying. So if you don't have kids, you should probably just date somebody who doesn't have kids. But if you have kids and they have kids, then it probably is like makes more sense. Don't burden people who don't have kids with kids. Just a personal opinion. People are gonna be mad at me in the comments.
You're all right with being a stepmom? All right.
There's nothing wrong with having kids, and nothing wrong with like having, you know, a history. I, however, don't even know if I want to have kids. I think I do, but I don't know that for sure. And if I was getting in a relationship with someone, I would have to treat a man with kids much more seriously than I would treat a man who doesn't have kids. 8, he's an 8. And what's the other one?
Why is that a fuck? That's not an F word at all. Come on, it's just a 5. 5 is average. Why do people freak out? You guys remember, we reviewed the video of 100 men and their faces on the rating scale, and a 5 which is somebody who didn't crazy positive good looking things but didn't have any like really negative features or whatever, so they're just normal and they weren't like fat, like a normal level. It's not that bad as these people make it out to be.
And he's pretty good. I probably would, if he's a 5 and he doesn't have kids and that's the only benefit of.
Dude, she does not want an 8. You know why she doesn't want an 8? Because just looking at her, okay, she is not also an 8. And she is going to feel so insecure being just an average woman. She's going to be so insecure because this 8 guy is going to be walking out there, going to get all this attention, and she's going to be like, oh my God, what's happening? I feel so insecure. And it's going to be a whole thing. You don't want an 8, girl. You don't want an 8. Just stop saying it. Go with a nice 5. Okay, nice 5.
Of him, I'm probably not going to go for him, so I'd probably actually go for the 8, but I would take it real slow.
I would choose guy number 1 who's divorced with 2 kids.
Okay.
Wow.
Ooh, those are good.
For all you divorced guys, there's hope with kids.
In my head, I love children, but I am not ready to be a mom. At this point in my life, I am not ready to be a mom.
Good job. Her name's probably Shauna, and that's why we are connected. It's not. It's Marla or something, isn't it?
Or a motherly figure to anybody. Oh, but he's never been in a relationship though, so he's like new too.
You don't know his age, and just because he's not in a relationship does not mean he's a bad person. You just said, well, not you, but somebody else said that 8 with 2 kids is not a bad person. So stop assuming that this guy who's a 5 is a bad person or not going to be good in a relationship. You know what? I can't speak. I can't speak now. Pick the 5.
So he like doesn't know.
You can teach him.
Sorry.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Number 2. Come on.
I think I would. Honestly, I think I would go with the guy who does have 2 kids.
You're dead to me.
I personally am not.
You're dead to me. We had such a good thing going on. And then you went with a guy with 2 kids. How could you do this? I thought we were linked. I thought we had a connection.
Not ready. I think I don't want to have the responsibility of almost like teaching somebody what it's like to be in a relationship.
I can't even look at her.
And I guess that sounds kind of mean. It's not. I feel like I would have to take on, and that's me making an assumption, but I feel like I would have to take on more of a, like we have to do this. You have to be a certain way or act a certain way.
Yeah, I guess they're both kind of scary in different ways because
They
it's like
are.
the kids is like, okay, that's a whole big responsibility that comes along with it,
Right.
in a different way than the relationship thing.
Yeah, and I also think like I do want to be a mom with kids one day. That is absolutely one of my biggest goals. But I just right now in my life, it would just be really hard for me to get over that fear, I guess, of like, oh crap, like I would be almost a motherly figure in a way.
This decision is going too long. Why is she still going on? Just so indecisive. Is this what happens with women normally? They're like, I could have fries or I could have a salad. Oh my god, how do I pick? Oh, then there's sweet potato fries. Just order for me.
Way, and that does scare me a little bit. But I think just given the 2, I think I would go with the guy who has 2 kids. I think I would, yeah.
Okay, I think 8.
All that deliberation. And still, the guy with 2 kids. She really is dead.
While I'd want my own kids, I think I could be a stepmom. But for me, the real big differentiator has never been in a relationship before.
I'm gonna go with the 8 and the 2 kids.
Okay, what's your reasoning there?
Why have you not been in a relationship?
Okay, so you're
This is like the same thing. I'm gonna do the clap shit. I'm a black woman making a point. I'm stereotyping. This is the same thing. You apply for a job and they're like, well, you don't have any work experience. So why would you be good for this job? You have no work experience. You should go volunteer first, or you gotta work your way up from the bottom. You gotta go work at McDonald's. You know, you gotta go work that minimum wage job and get some years behind your belt, and then they're like, okay, now we'll let you date the 5s. You can date the 5s now, but you gotta start with the 2s and 3s because you got no work experience.
you're concerned.
The guy, yeah.
Okay.
Why has he not been in a relationship?
I would probably go with
It's not tough.
guy number 2.
So would you not want to be with a guy who
Smart decision.
had already been
I'm
in a
proud of
marriage
you.
and had to, like, are you not feeling the stepmom thing right now?
I'm not against it. I mean, I'm at a point in life where you have to accept that people are going to have kids and that comes with the package, but
So how old is she then if she's there? She must be in her 30s. She's getting the recycled guys, right? Exiting from divorces.
if I had the option, I would probably go with the 5.
Next one is guy number 1 who makes $150,000 and he's a plumber, or guy number 2 who makes $120,000 and he's a lawyer.
Prediction. You're gonna pick the lawyer because a lawyer wears a suit and it's about status.
I would probably choose guy number 2, who's the lawyer, because for my education, I would have more in common conversationally with that individual.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So more like alike than you would be maybe with the plumber.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, weird answer for me again. $150,000 in plumber. I really, really have a passion for doing home projects, and plumbing is my weak point.
All right. So,
So
the
having
missing
someone to fill
puzzle
the gap.
piece. All right.
Yeah.
Look at her just fitting it together like puzzle pieces. Woo!
Yes, that would be good.
It's great to have a handyman.
The money's not that different, so it's literally lawyer or plumber. See, to me, if you're a plumber, you're down to earth. You can fix all my shit. That's nice. If you're a lawyer, you're gonna win in the arguments that we have.
Could be a bad lawyer. He could really just suck.
Do I want to
Real
deal with that?
point.
I don't know if I want to deal with.
I don't know, for some reason she looks like she needs a plumber. It looks like she needs someone to lay some pipe for her.
This is funny because this is getting at like how much I want to be like a similar intelligence to who I'm dating, and I feel like if I'm dating a lawyer, I'm constantly going to convince myself that I'm not smart enough for this lawyer. But plumber, I'm just like, there's a lot of auto workers in my family, so I would say I kind of want to. I'm leaning plumber.
All right.
Yeah.
Auto worker, plumber, same. Working with your hands, I get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to wait around for someone to come fix your stuff.
I
That's nice.
wouldn't. He could fix everything. I'm so not interested in. I always think I'm interested in solving those problems on my own, and I'm not. I want
No.
someone else to do them.
Not a Home Depot girly.
The lawyer.
Okay, what's your reasoning there?
Look at her. She looks like a professional. Like she looks like she sits in an office all day.
The income?
Well, he's making less than the plumber.
But he has more stable income, I guess. I don't know. I just wait. What is he making again?
120.
120.
And then the plumber's making 150. But is it the
It's
is
just
it the
like
title?
Yeah, the title, I guess. Like
Okay.
his job. He probably has more of an exciting career. More to come home.
What
to
did I
about.
say?
They both look fine.
They both. That's great.
With the plumber, it would be nice because they're very, like, handsy, you know? Like, they could, like, fix stuff around the house. A lawyer's also nice. Very admirable profession, absolutely. I feel like with a lawyer, you would just... you couldn't win an argument. Like, you would just, like...
Why is that brought up twice now? Is that all they care about is they want to argue? Is this the women's mentality now? It's like, you know what we need to do? We need to argue. And if I can't win the argument, I don't even want to be in a relationship with you. And men are sitting there like, I don't want to argue ever. So, hello? Why?
Like, you would just be really good. You would just be really good at arguing with you. And I don't know if I can handle that. I think I would just get too...
Because he does it for his day job and then he wants to come home and then do the same thing at home. That's what he's looking for. The frig, dude.
Plumber.
The plumber?
I like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Women make
I
no
would go
sense.
with the plumber for sure.
Okay. Is there a reason why you picked that one?
I have been with people who have been in those types of jobs, and I've just found that men who work hard in that way are usually more my type, and they're a lot more handy around the house.
Probably lawyer, only because I feel like that's like a career field that I could maybe relate more to. And so I feel like we might have more in common.
Okay. So you're assuming things about his personality and his traits based off of the job title, right?
Right.
Okay. What if he had debt? Would that change things?
I think it depends on you know, how much and why. You know, if it's debt from law school, I think everyone has some, you know, college debt that they have to work through. If it's credit card debt because he's a shopaholic, yeah, that might change things.
Okay. Next one is guy number 1 who is a 4 and has a Porsche and a condo in Miami, or guy number 2 who is a 9 and lives at home with his parents.
The 4. The guy with his shit together.
Okay,
So why are we, I need to know why. Like, why are we living with our mom still? Are we saving up to buy a house? Like, how old are we? I guess that one's a tough one just because, like, I need to know more.
So does it matter how old he is? Like, how old are you?
I'm going to be 30 this year.
30. Okay, so if a guy's 30 and he's a 9 but he lives at home with his parents, like, what is the age where it starts to be a little not great for you?
25.
I'm like 35. Like, why are we still living with our parents?
Got it. Okay.
She was gonna give till 35?
That's hard because I could go either way with those depending on who the person is. I don't really care what kind of car a guy drives. It's more so like how you treat somebody and how you respect somebody that's important to me. You know, between the two things, I'd probably choose the guy that lives at home because if he's living at home, he's either taking care of his parents and being a primary caregiver for somebody that's...
That's generous. You don't know at all why he's at home. I love how you assumed he's like looking after his parents. Oh, that's so nice.
You know, ill or a little older, or he's furthering his education or starting his career. I don't really care about how established somebody is. It's about how you
If you say so.
How you treat other people along the way.
Those are all good reasons why you would be living at home with your parents. There's a lot of people that are just playing video games in their parents' basement.
Okay, perfect. Would it change if he was a specific age and still living at home? Like, is that a factor at all?
It is, because past a certain age in your 30s and you still haven't established yourself and like moved out, it kind of shows signs of immaturity in my opinion. So I probably wouldn't go for somebody like that.
Yep.
That's a tough one because you don't know their personalities, but I'm probably going to go with guy number 1, and not because what he has, but it sounds like he is more driven and more motivated to kind of be up on his own 2 feet and be successful.
9 lives at home with his parents. I have my own house, so if things work out, he can move in with me.
All right. Is there an age cutoff for you where living with the parents would be?
She just offered her own house to the man, 9, living at home with his parents, without knowing why he's living at home. Now, I'm going to be charitable and assume that if the guy's like a deadbeat, she ain't going to take it farther, because that would be real dumb.
Deal breaker, or something that you would maybe look at in a different way?
I think that in general, people tend to move in with parents for different reasons. I think there's kind of that stereotype around it with the 30-year-old video gamer who lives in the parents' basement, which is absolutely fine for some people, maybe not for me. But things happen in life, and I can see people moving in with their parents again over time. Cutoff for that, in general, maybe like 35-ish.
A Porsche. He's a 4?
Mm-hmm.
A Porsche and a condo in Miami isn't gonna help you if you're already a 4.
This girl thinks people are so ugly if they're 4s or 5s. They are hunchbacks. They're all like, eh.
And the other guy's a 9, and he lives with his parents. If he's a 9, I'm assuming he has a great relationship with his parents, which is attractive to me, as long as he's not like dependent on his parents. If he's living at home and he does the dishes sometimes, and he like treats his family to dinner other times, that's like great.
He does the dishes sometimes? Oh my god. He better be doing a lot more than just that.
Like, it's like, wow, you can like be around your family for long periods of time and like you guys get along really great. That's like not common, I feel like, especially in young adults who are like figuring themselves out. But a 4 and a Porsche in Miami, like that's not doing much for me, so I'm gonna go for the 9 living with his parents.
This is like a failure to launch situation. I mean, I probably, let's be honest, I'm gonna go with Matthew McConaughey every time in that one.
Go with Matthew McConaughey. I can't even say his name. She said it weird, now I can't say it. He's not a 4.
Well, I mean, living at home with your parents isn't, because I lived with my parents, so like no judgments there. Times are tough, I get that. It would depend on why he's living with his parents. If you're just like bumming with your parents, I don't care how good you look. But if you're there and you're like, oh, transition period, you know, I need to work on myself, or like I'm looking for a job, I'm in between, you know, that's totally acceptable. If it was for a valid reason, I would go with the guy living with his parents.
Guy number 1 who makes $55,000 and is loyal, or guy number 2 who makes over $500,000 a year and provides a comfortable lifestyle, but would like an arrangement with you where he can sleep with other women every once in a while.
Oh, I thought that just came with anybody when you dated them. That's not how it works. You can't just sleep with anybody. Shit, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Guy number 1.
Guy number 1, all right. Loyalty's important.
It is.
Ooh, okay.
They're
that's
all gonna
hard as
pick
well.
loyal.
I think I would rather go for someone loyal. There's nothing wrong with people who are in open relationships. I think some people are truly meant for that. I am not one of them.
Okay. So you would choose the loyalty guy making
She's very
less money
open-minded.
over the $500,000 a year who would like to step out in the relationship every once in a while.
Unless we were absolutely like head over heels about each other, and that seemed to be like something that came naturally to us.
I need somebody that's loyal. It's very important to me.
So you're choosing guy number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Okay.
Nope. Go with guy number 1. Loyalty trumps money every time.
Nope. 1.
1?
Yep. Nope. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Can we talk about STDs for a second? That's disgusting. I don't care about money. Somebody's respect and somebody's loyalty to me are the most important factors when deciding if I'm going to spend my life or my time with somebody.
Perfect.
There is no other people involved. I wouldn't do it to them. I would expect the same respect.
Every once in a while, and I can sleep with other men.
We don't know that.
That's part of our arrangement.
We don't know that.
Honestly, I'm very open to that.
Okay.
I'm not closed off to that at all.
Okay, you're the first girl who has said that, so I would love to pick your brain a little bit there.
Absolutely happy
Okay.
to.
So the loyalty thing is not necessarily like
She knows she ain't like a 7 or an 8, like a 4 or 5. She's rocking the money. That's what I think what's happening here.
100% deal breaker for you.
No, not at all. Because loyalty to me means we're communicating. It doesn't mean we're exclusive.
So,
So,
okay, let me
yeah.
ask you this. If he was making $500,000, you know, has the arrangement with you where he can sleep with other women every once in a while, if he's communicating that to you, you view it differently than if he was cheating on you and hiding it from you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In my head, I think I could, because I'm 25, I'm single, you know, like it's not planning on settling down anytime soon. I don't even know if I want to settle down.
She's 25? I thought she was like close to 30. She looks older to me. I don't know.
In person forever, personally. So that kind of like take the money out of it, because money really is never gonna influence my decision. If he's like open like that, we probably have more in common than the guy who's focused on loyalty.
She just said money would never influence her decision. All right, I know you said it. I don't believe you what you just said, but that's fine. We'll just let it go.
So you're choosing guy number 2. Guy number 1 who is 5'5" and makes $95,000 a year, or guy number 2 who is 6'1" and makes $45,000.
Oh, that's tough. I think because this group has picked the shorter men who is more fit, I think they're gonna pick guy number 1.
Again, I have to make a lot of assumptions here, and I'm only judging based off income. I'm gonna go guy number 2 on this one because I can also provide on my end. So
Ooh, okay.
just because he makes, you know, $45,000 a year doesn't mean he would be, you know, struggling.
Okay, so in this case, you'd rather have the tall guy.
In this case.
Is it because of the 45 versus 95? Like, does 95 still not seem like enough to you where you would be like, okay, I choose that guy?
Not that it's not enough, but I think in the first scenario where I picked the shorter one, if I remember correctly, it was because he also took care of himself. This one, it's solely based off height and money. You know, I'm making an assumption here that the guy who's taller and makes 45 hopefully takes care of himself, and that's why I make my decision.
And what, the short guy doesn't take care of himself? I don't understand how you determine this.
Those are same bracket to me. Like those guys don't have any distinguishable differences for me to be attracted to one versus the other.
Okay, so then would you pick the one making more money then?
No, probably not. Probably not. What is it? What is the height?
The 5'5" guy makes $95K.
5'5" makes 90.
Yep, and 6'1" guy makes 45. So the short guy makes more money, tall guy
Yeah.
makes less.
It's not like a significant amount. I mean, it's significant to me because I only make like 50. I don't know if I could pick. I would need so many more factors to pick between these two guys. Height doesn't do it for, again, I'm 5'3". Like they're both still taller than me.
Yeah.
One's making the same amount that I am. We'd probably have more in common. One's making a little more. That's where I'm trying to be one day, so I'm sure we'd get it. I don't know if I could pick. Like my first instinct, I'm like triggered by money more than I'm triggered by height. So like I'd probably rather pick the guy who makes my level of income because I wouldn't be intimidated by him. But if I'm dating a guy making more than me, I'm gonna be a little intimidated by it.
Okay, interesting.
Not a significant amount. Again, not a significant amount, but enough
Right.
that I'd probably feel more comfortable with the guy who makes, what, 45?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so guy 2. All right.
Too.
Probably guy who's 6'1".
Okay, why is that?
Because I like tall guys. I'm more attracted to that. I'm short, but also it's more of like a manly thing too. Not saying that short guys aren't manly, but it's more like they're like more protecting, like they're bigger, like I don't know. That's just what I'm attracted to.
She just fell into the typical stereotype that just because you're taller means you can defend her.
So it feels more masculine to
Yes,
you. And
it
does
does.
it make you feel more feminine when you're much smaller?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. I don't want to be taller than somebody And also, if my leg is bigger than a guy's, it makes me like uncomfortable. Like I should not like
When you're
fit
sitting in the car.
Not even that. It's like if I fit into your joggers, that makes me like a little uncomfortable.
This woman has consistently deep dived onto every scenario to like figure out the mathematical equation behind everything. Like, it's like, I don't know what's happening in her brain, but neurons are firing. And it's just, you can just see like new pathways connecting and new thoughts forming. She's so like, just, you could tell her something simple and be like, hey, do you want to get rye bread or sourdough? And she's like, well, did you know that rye bread is made from this sort of grain and sourdough is made from this starter? And oh my God, this one does to your bacterial health in your gut and blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, so is that sourdough or rye?
I think depending on his living situation, I would take 6'2" and 45K a year. Again, that height is really important to me just because I am very tall and it tends to be, it creates a weird dynamic to have a very strong-willed woman who is also physically bigger than you. So 6'2" and 45K.
Earlier you chose the short guy who took care of himself, but in this case you're choosing the tall guy who makes less money.
Yes.
Okay.
The first guy.
5'5"?
5'5", yeah.
All right, making more money. You care more about the money than the height?
I just want to be able to have like a fun lifestyle. I know what I can afford and what type of lifestyle I live, so he's got to be able to keep up with me.
I would
She like the money.
go with guy number 1.
5'5" guy? Still taller than you.
Everyone's taller than me, so I'm still gonna be able to wear heels no matter what.
Cause I'm 5'2", so like to me, I'm like, you're both taller than me. You both are making money. I know it's, comes down to personality thing. I won't answer that way, but to me, I think that would definitely sway.
It's hard when you don't know that.
It's hard, right? It's very black and white, and it's very hard, I think, when you don't have other factors, which I'm assuming is the point of this whole thing. It's like when you don't have the information.
She's a character.
Probably guy number 1.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's kind of like, what do you value more? If neither one of the things are really that important to you, it's like, okay, do I want someone who makes more money where my lifestyle could increase a little bit?
Sure.
Or do I want a guy I can look up to a little higher?
Right.
You know?
And to me too, I get almost, and this is a me thing, absolutely, I get intimidated with just like larger men. That could be overweight, that could be muscular, that could be tall. For me, I almost feel like a sense of like it's too much.
Okay. Next one is guy number 1 who is a 3 but pays for everything, is a provider, and you don't have to work. Or guy number 2 who is an 8 and you are the breadwinner.
I really like the concept of a man who can provide for me, although I'm fine by myself. So even if I had someone who was providing for me, I would still work regardless. It brings me great joy. So I think I'd go with the second guy.
She doesn't want to be bored sitting at home, like cooking and cleaning. What about kids? What if you had kids? You gotta work then?
Where I'm the breadwinner, as
Okay.
long as he is still contributing in some way.
Okay, so if it was like he was not working at all and you were the only one bringing in money, would that change your answer?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Guy number 1's a 3? Okay, first of all, if you're a 3,
Oh God. Her and 5. She hated 5, so it's just, there's no point.
ideally we're both contributing, ideally in my head. And if I one day want to have a family, truly, I don't want to be the stay-at-home one. I want
Okay.
him to be the stay-at-home one. I probably want to keep working. I don't want a man who thinks that because he pays for all this shit, he's owed this and he's owed that. I don't ever want that to come up in an argument that someone's going to use against me. So I would, and he's already a 3. Number 2, the second guy.
I would go with guy number 2. I'm totally down with being the breadwinner. I believe in independence, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I am dependent on someone for everything. That's not my speed.
Okay, so you would rather be more attracted to the person that you're with and maybe be the one who's bringing in more money versus not be attracted to a guy who's just, providing everything for you.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna go, I think guy number 2. I'm okay with being the breadwinner.
Okay.
I'm totally.
What if he's not working at all? What if you're the only one working?
It depends. Is that a decision we made together because he has other endeavors he's working on, or
No, he just likes to sit at home all day, smoke weed, and play video games.
if that's the case, then fine. But if he's lazy, then absolutely not.
Okay, so there's like nuance there that changes your answer.
Yeah, there is.
I'd pick the guy number 2, because for me, I personally like to work and I like to be independent and self-sufficient. I would not like it if somebody was providing everything for me, because it shows that I'm not able to do it for myself when I'm more than capable of doing it for myself. But I think that balance is really important, you know? Not one person has to be the sole provider.
Bunch of feminists, guys! A bunch of feminists in this video. They won't let us look after them.
Okay, would it change if the guy who was an 8 and was the breadwinner, if he was not working at all and you were the only one working?
Not necessarily, because there's a lot of factors that go into that. Again, he could be getting his education or pursuing medical school or law school or engineering or some other high accolade career with a PhD where you can't work. Or if he's providing...
Her accent? Oh my god. He could be providing a high accolade career?
You know, palliative care for somebody, or as a long-term caregiver for a sick family member. You also have to take that into consideration too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if he wanted to be a stay-at-home dad?
That would not work because I don't want kids.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Don't even have to worry about that then.
No.
Wow.
Provider. Like, let him provide for me.
Okay. So you care more about the providing versus the... Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to have to be the breadwinner. Like, I mean, I don't mind it, but you gotta keep up with me. You gotta match
We
me.
appreciate this.
Oh, guy number. Oh, I'll be the breadwinner. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd rather be more attracted to him?
Yes, I really would. I don't want to rely on anybody. That's my thing. I very much want to contribute as equally as I can, or as much as I can into a relationship.
Next one is guy number 1 who is a 9 and can't satisfy you in the bedroom, or guy number 2 who is a 5 and you have a great sex life.
Oh, this famous question again. What shall they pick? I think a lot of guy number 1s.
I'm gonna go with guy number 2 because a tiger can't change its stripes.
We gotta have a good sex life, so guy number 2.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. I meant guy number 2. Guy number 1 is the guy who can't satisfy them. Sorry, yeah, then it's obviously guy number 2. I messed it up.
Oh, if he's a 9, if he's a 9 and he can't satisfy me in the bedroom, he's not a 9.
Exactly.
To me.
We're just going off looks.
You're,
so
okay, so just look. But there's also that, like, there are other ways, I think, to, like, work around. You know, if he's not good, you can work on it. You can bring other things into it. I don't know if that's appropriate. to say
Yeah,
on
of
camera,
course, of
but
course.
okay. Well, you can bring other things into it to make it more exciting.
Does she not sound like me? I feel like I said this in the other video, that like exact thing. I was like, you can train him, you can use toys. Like, oh my god, how is he's so incompetent he like can't do anything? It doesn't make sense.
I really do think I would go with the 9, just because we could work on it. We could work on the sex life.
Would your answer change if like you couldn't work on it? Like if he was just like chronically bad?
Yes, if he was chronically bad and there was like no.
But if you're thinking like, okay, with some communication,
Yeah.
things could get better, then you would go with the 9.
Yeah, like we explore each other's like likes. We try different things.
Yeah.
And if that didn't work, I would go with guy number 2.
I think most problems in the bedroom though stem from poor communication.
I agree with that. I definitely agree because I think it's like I just want to be open and be like, hey, I like when you do this.
Yeah.
Or same with me, tell me what you like so then I can do it.
Right.
And that immediately increases. So that would even mean, if there's no communication about what's in the bedroom, there's probably no communication in the relationship in general.
Right. Right. So then it's already sucks.
Yes. So I think
5 and great sex life.
Okay.
5.
5. Okay.
Immediate 5. Well, because I'm wondering, he's a 9 and he can't satisfy me in the bedroom?
Yeah, so you know it must be bad.
No.
Like, what the hell
Because no one can satisfy you in the bedroom. That's why you need that plumber. That's why.
is he doing that makes... I'm moving too much. What the hell is he doing that's making him a 9? I like a 5 who's good in the bedroom because that's my little secret. Everyone else can look at him and be like, he's a 5. Why are you with him? I'm going to be like, you'd like to know, wouldn't you?
5. Number 2. Sorry. Guy number 2.
I feel like with that side of things, the only reason you're not satisfying somebody is because you're not listening to how they respond to things. So I feel like there's room for growth with the other guy, unless he just is a blatant asshole and doesn't want to listen to what you have to say with feedback. So I would probably choose the guy that doesn't satisfy me, because that means that there's room for growth. If somebody knows everything about you right off the bat, that's unattractive to me.
What? What is this logic that's happening right now? If he's a 5 and he's learned how to please you, that he's able to satisfy you so well, that's like a negative now, because like, how did he learn all of this? But you want the 9 who literally doesn't want to listen to you? That's the whole point of him being a 9 and sucking. Okay, whatever. This is like so stupid.
Me, because there's no room for growth for you to both learn each other, and move forward with your relationship as a unit, you know, versus like somebody knowing everything about me.
Okay, she needs to be single forever. Like, what are you talking about? Do you think this 5 guy literally just like magically knows everything about you? Like he didn't have to do something to figure it out? It was just like, oh yeah, I know everything. It's all good. What are you talking about? Well, that was a little bit confusing because I felt like the women somewhat like went back and forth in different things. Okay, what else is new? Women are confusing. And a quick shout out to my 2 subscribers, Metal Viking and Passport Bro. You both have been commenting a lot on my channels, really appreciate it. And Metal Viking, to answer your question, where do I get the time to do these videos and pump up the content? Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I have to wake up in 5 hours, so I just work all night. And Passport Bro, hopefully that happens. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Much appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you would be so kind, and we will see you on the next one.